I remember when I first met you. You probably don't remember when you first met me.
It was an interview.
It was an interview, that's the thing. I remember it because I was starting my job in Entertainment Tonight, and it felt like one of my first bigger interviews. I went to interview him at this wedding, not very familiar with the show, and some of my girlfriends from home, I was texting them after telling them about my day, and they said, "Oh my gosh, Chris Harrison, is he so handsome in person? Oh wow, were you so nervous?" And I was like, not really, I don't really totally know who this guy is. But you know.
It was love at first sight, is what she's trying to say.
I interviewed Chris and we worked together for several years, and it was just totally professional. We had never seen each other other than on a red carpet. The only conversations we'd ever had were interviewing conversations.
You do these interviews and you just get in go mode, and you know, it's not that these interviews aren't special, but you'll do a lot of them in a row. And I'm just trying to think about the things that the publicity folks told me to hit, and I'm trying to keep secrets. I'm trying not to ruin the end of the show. And so it's funny how you don't really have those intimate moments where you connect a lot of times in these interviews. And so it wasn't until years later.
We both became single, and then I was doing an interview for Bachelor in Paradise, and I had become single. I wasn't wearing a wedding ring anymore, and I kind of thought, that interview was different. Was Chris Harrison flirting with me? He asked to see my note cards. He was kind of teasing me about my messy handwriting, and I thought, that was so weird. That was a different vibe than we've ever had. And so I went into the press room after, and then he comes in the press room, and I'm like, he never comes in the press room. But when he came in, all the other reporters wanted to go press him about a bunch of other things. So I said, well, I'm not gonna compete for his attention, and I left. And then I saw him again at another taping months later, and that was kind of, I think, a bit of a fate moment. I said to myself, I'm gonna go to craft services, which is where all the coffee and snacks are, and I'm gonna get a coffee right now. And if he happens to be there during this 8-hour taping, at this moment that I go, then I'm supposed to talk to him, and he was flirting with me that day. And he just happened to go get himself a tea at that exact moment. I had never seen him at craft services before. And then I DM'd him and said, hey, it was good to see you. We went on our first date, and our first date was one of those amazing rom-com dates that lasted 3.5 hours, and
yeah. It was, yeah. So first of all, you missed the awkward, mistaken, flirty interview we did at Bachelor Winter Games. So when Lauren asked me if I was dating somebody in the interview, I took that as, that's kind of a different question from her. So maybe she's being a little flirty. She was not. That was just me making it up in my mind. So flash forward to Paradise, when I was very much flirting with her, tried to chase her down.
So you were flirting?
She left me and eluded me. And so then we had the moment it was Becca Kufrin's Men Tell All.
Yes.
And those things, as you know, take forever. And so I did. I stepped out of the stage because it's freezing. I went and got a tea. And I was leaning against the car in the parking lot when she came up, and we really started having, for the first time, instead of an interview, just an intimate conversation.
We'd never had a regular conversation before.
About life and just love, and if I was dating then she did ask if I was dating anybody, and this was off the record, and I was like, no. And then she slid into my DMs because my birthday was just a few days later.
I did.
And she wished me a happy birthday. And I took it out of the DMs as quick as I could. I think for both of us, it was kind of a steady ascent. And it never wavered, which was also wonderful. It wasn't a roller coaster ride of ups and downs in our relationship. It's always just been this beautiful kind of steady climb together, where each date, each time with our family, each time where we met a new friend, just opened another door that we really liked about each other. Yeah. And we realized we're so aligned on so many things about how we love our family and our friends and how we protect them and how we take care of people. And so every glimpse we got that gave us more and more insight was just a beautiful thing. And so it just grew naturally and became so easy. All of it, I hate to say, because you sound like such a jerk or whatever, but it's like, it really has been so easy.
We've never had moments of, is this gonna work, is it not? And to me, that's such a good gauge on whether you should spend your whole life with a person. That's the most important decision of your life. We all worry about where we're gonna go to college or what our career will be. Your life partner is the most impactful decision of your entire life. I think from very early on, I thought I could marry this guy. And so that was enough for me to, of course, keep going in the relationship. And then it just felt like it wasn't even a question. It just felt easy and natural. And I started to think, I went from, could I marry this guy, to, no, I will marry him. I'm not worried about when it will happen. I'm not worried, I don't have a timeline, but yeah, we're gonna get married. So, after much reflection, we decided the way to celebrate our love and get to spend the best possible time with friends and family would be to have 2 celebrations. So we are doing a ceremony and a beautiful dinner in Napa Valley, California, and then we are doing a big, it's bigger and better in Texas size party in Austin.
If you're truly gonna have the most dramatic wedding ever, then you gotta have 2. Everybody does 1 wedding.
Babe, what a great rebrand of this crazy idea we had.
One of the reasons we're getting married in Napa Valley, California, is because that's where we got engaged. That's where I chose to propose to Lauren. It's a place that's near and dear to our heart. We used to live, obviously, in Southern California, and we would visit Napa a lot. And through the years, we have made so many incredible friends and so many really lasting memories up in Napa. We love wine. We have a nice little wine collection here in Austin. And so it's just a place that is really become important to us. And we were on a trip in Napa with some friends, and there's this one particular spot up on Pritchard Hill overlooking Lake Hennessy, and we actually joked about this would be a great place to shoot the show, to have a wedding up here. And right then and there I knew, A, I was going to propose to Lauren, B, this is where I was going to do it. And so Napa has kind of been a part of our relationship all along, so it really made sense when we thought about where do we want this meaningful moment.
So we decided to do a really small, intimate ceremony of just about 40 people, the people who have really been there with us since the beginning of our relationship. We want everybody to kind of feel like they're part of this whole landscape. And we're also leaning into it in the way of, like, we're being very minimal on anything else that we're adding. We don't have a ton of big florals. When you're getting married in a vineyard, you know, I think let the vineyard speak for itself. I am walking down the aisle to a very tinkly, slowed down piano version of the song La Vie en Rose, which I love because, you know, roses are a thing in our lives. It brought us together. We met because I covered The Bachelor, and certainly roses were in your life for 20 years.
Yeah, and they bought this beautiful house. They're paying for this beautiful wedding, so let's lean into it.
And that song, actually, the movie A Star Is Born was really big when we first started dating.
Mm-hmm.
And
that was our first Halloween costume.
And that night was one of the nights I thought, I really like this guy. Because I said, I want to be Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper's characters for Halloween. And he hadn't even seen the movie yet and goes, cool, I got that, I can pull it together. And he went and got the costume, and I thought, this guy's in, you know? He puts in the effort, he's doing it, he wants to show up for me and show me that he cares. And so I was just very into that movie, and so La Vie en Rose was big from that movie, and then combined with the roses in our lives and the meaning of the song. It's all about a rose-colored life, and oh no. And I'm so happy. I feel so grateful and so blessed for my life with Chris every single day. He's the best partner, and I'm just happy every day of my life. I feel so supported, and I smile and laugh every day. So I think that the words of the song are also exactly what I'm walking towards. Wedding number 2 is gonna be in Austin at a fabulous ranch, and we are fully leaning into our Texas roots. Well, Chris is from Dallas, and the fact that we live in Austin now. The directive we gave everybody for attire is cowboy cocktail, cowboy chic, and we are encouraging people, like, wear a hat, come in your bolo tie. The venue has real Longhorn cattle there. Like, I think it's gonna be a blast.
Yeah, there's definitely gonna be a ceremony to it. It's important to us to A, include all of the people that are coming to this party, but B, also kind of establish this really is a wedding to us, and we really wanna have that rooted in Texas as well. And about halfway through, we're going to stop, and there's going to be kind of traditional toasts. One of the toasts will be given by Wells Adams and Ben Higgins.
A dynamic duo.
A dynamic duo, two very good friends of ours. And the great thing, again, everything has kind of mutual meaning. Lauren actually met Wells and Ben independently while she was interviewing them and became very good friends, and obviously my tie to them,
Yeah, we were looking through our guest list and we knew we wanted a couple fun toasts, and Wells and Ben never disappoint on bringing the charm and the humor. And Ben Higgins was the first person when I started covering the Bachelor franchise for Entertainment Tonight. He was the first person I interviewed for the show. So Ben and I have kind of been on this journey together, and we love Wells, and so we just thought they'd have a lot of fun together.
Yeah, Ben will be meaningful and cry, and Wells will be a smart ass and be really funny. It's perfect.
Exactly what you want in life.
Lauren and I have both been married before, but we both got married very young. And it's not to take anything away from, those spouses, our exes, but when you are a little bit older, a little bit wiser, and a little bit more experienced in life, this wedding, this marriage, this woman means something so different to me than when I was 22, 18 years old, because you just don't know. And it's I'm not bagging on that 18-year-old kid, because you don't know what you don't know, but the man I am now and the life I've lived, and I have two beautiful children, and we have this spectacular, beautiful thing. And she is a partner in every way. She is someone I know I want to do life with. I want to do the rest of my life with. So it's different. And again, I'm not negating anything that came before this, but it's just so different where you are at this stage in our lives to choose this. Because, Lauren and I don't mean this in an unromantic way, we don't need this, right? She's independent, she's spectacular, she's successful,
Bye.
She can, do anything she wants. I'm the same. Like, we have, we really do. We have beautiful friends. We have everything we need in life. So this is a choice. And when you get to a point in your life when you don't need it, yet you choose to do it, it's that much more meaningful, if that makes sense. When I met Lauren, quickly, honestly, before I fell in love, before we ever started dating, I just really admired her. She was an unbelievable reporter, journalist. She was smart, she was prepared. I could tell she was well read. She's savvy. Her mind works like a lawyer. She would remember stuff and bring it back on you. She is such a rare woman and such a rare human being, and loves family and friends as fiercely as I do. We have so many qualities and attributes that we share together, that it's been so easy. And this is the easiest person I've ever loved in my life.
Oh no. I don't think I knew what real partnership was until Chris. He is the person who is my teammate in everything, supports me in everything. When you have someone tell you, and Chris actually says these things to me, he says, I want to make your dreams come true. I want to do what I can to make you happy. My job is to make you happy. That level of selflessness from someone is, first of all, mind-blowing, and is what partnership should be. And I think we both feel that way about each other. But then on top of it, honestly, that wouldn't be enough. You would still want someone who you connected with and laughed with, and you could, was at your intellect with you, and he's all those things. And I think the simplest way to put it is, I always feel confident saying, Chris is a better person than me. That's how I describe him to people. I'm like, oh my gosh, Chris is like, I put him on a pedestal, and Chris is such a better person than me. The way that he, again, loves his family, the way that he loves everything that I am as myself. I think when you know who you are, and when you find someone who knows who they are, and when you both love each other as you are, that's the dream.